Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the book Advice to Householders, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So, in today's satsang, we will continue to study the importance of rearing a child and the samskaras, childhood education. A child is a reflection of the self. Why is a child so lovable to the parents? How can a tiny creature weighing just a few pounds capture their hearts, entrance their minds, and involve all their energy? Why is it that the moment you see a little cub of a tiger or a lion or any baby from any species, the human mind develops such a sense of tenderness? Why and what is the psychology behind it? The answer, in brief, is that every human being wants to capture in his consciousness absolute tenderness, absolute beauty, and harmony. That, of course, is God, the divine self. But since the urge for realizing the self is very abstract, the complex mind is unable to understand that urge, and nature must present various experiences in human life to promote its development. So, when parents love their children, in that love they are trying to capture the love of God. Your child reflects God in its simplicity and innocence. When you understand how a child reflects your aspiration for becoming peaceful, symbolizing the goal you want to reach in life, you can develop an attitude of adoring the divine self in the child. This attitude, however, should not interfere with your practical dealings with a child. You must be able to separate your parental love from the objective needs of a child's growth. You should not make the child a toy in your hands, nor become attached to and dependent on the child for your happiness. If you do so, you will stunt his development and not let him grow up as he should. Rather, understand that a child exists as an independent personality and one day will walk out of your life just as a bird that has wings will fly out of its nest. The unique sensitivity of the child's mind. A child, according to yoga, has his kleshas, his afflictions in a dormant state because the ego and its selfishness have not yet been developed. Yet, there is a unique form of sensitivity which nature has given to the child. In practical dealings with children, parents must understand the sensitivity of the child's mind and realize how deeply every experience penetrates that mind. You remember clearly many things from your childhood days, while things that happened a few years or only a few days before are forgotten. The mind of a child is extraordinarily sensitive. Its sensitivity is mystic. Sometimes the child is reflecting upon even the things that you feel and think. You may be able to conceal many things from other grown up human beings. You can come from your office tense, tired, and filled with explosions within your mind. You can conceal all that is when dealing with adults. But when you are sitting before tiny sages, your little children, they perceive your inner state, though you have not uttered a word. There is a radiation from you that children are more sensitive to and they imbibe it. So, it is important that adults consider carefully the sensitivity of the mind of a child. See the world through your child's eyes. Parents must also understand how the values of children are different from the values of adults. There is a place of insight within you through which you can know how children feel. But most people have become rigid and do not remember childhood days. Those who are more integrated, however, do not grow rigid and they maintain an awareness of the child's reality. So, it becomes important for parents to develop sensitivity and insight into children's psychology, not through academic learning, but on the basis of spontaneous love and affection. You must become able to commune with your children and understand them. You must try to see how the children think and how they are looking at things, so that even though actions done by children are fantastic, you will not upset them severely. You should not impose your realities in a very harsh manner in the tender environments of the children. So, a lot of sensitivity is required. For example, a child in the heights of great sensitivity finds something he considers to be on the top of the world, and he wants to show it to his mother. So he brings a handful of mud and puts it right near her face, and all that he receives for that great act is one big slap. Sometimes that happens, and that damages the child's inner psyche. So consider another illustration. Suppose you are a writer, and as you are doing your work, your child sits and adores you for what you are doing, writing. Then, when it is time to go to the office, you leave. The child, in order to help you, sits down, takes all the ink and the pen, and goes on turning all the pages, writing everywhere, so that when you come back, you will be happy to see your work accomplished. You come back and the child is greeted with a volcanic eruption. So, it is important to see things from the child's point of view and not to hurt him or her because of the errors. Parents must understand the tender atmosphere in which children exist and must be able to appreciate their attention, their intentions in a sensitive manner. Thus, bringing up a child is a huge responsibility. A place for all. The law of karma can cause great differences among children in the same family. Children born of the same parents may be in totally different levels of evolution. Why? Because they are different souls, two separate souls. One can be a very saintly personality, another may be a demoniac personality based on their prior karmic entanglements. Some children have the potentiality of becoming very great in a particular field, while others do not. Parents with insight will be able to guide their children according to their evolution, encouraging them to unfold all their inner talents and resources. Parents should not become upset if the children do not function or develop the way that they had expected. Because children have their own way and own right to live and express themselves, they cannot be modeled exactly according to the expectations of the parents. The parents' attitude towards the children should be to present a healthy environment for growth. Just as the sun and the rain provide a proper environment for seeds to grow. If the seed contains the potentiality of becoming a thorny bush, it becomes a thorny bush. If it contains the potentiality of becoming a rose, it grows into a rose. However, if perspective is kept, even a thorny bush serves various medical purposes. Everything has its purpose. If proper circumstances are given in a society where various personalities are needed, everyone will fit in to perform a correct and right function. From the divine point of view, no one is smaller and no one is greater. Therefore, parents should not disbalance their affection and lean more towards children who are brighter or more like themselves and begin to ignore those that are not so bright or express themselves differently than the parents had expected. Let's discuss the spirit of discipline. Practical insight into how to train children must be gradually developed by the parents through experience. They cannot be set in their ways, they cannot create uh, strict laws. Flexibility is required. Those people who read Set laws from research books become like tiny computers, constantly looking into the books to find out exactly how they are going to react to a problem. Rather, there must be an inner feeling about the child brought about through vital communications. You may err many times and repeat often for what you have done to a child. That too is part of evolution. Parents must build up an atmosphere of warmth and love, and within that atmosphere, firmness. Allow the child to taste the joy of your satisfaction when they have done well in meeting your healthy expectations. However, when they have not done something well, they must also taste the bitterness of having made you dissatisfied. They long to please you and learn to enjoy promoting your satisfaction. That sensitive way in which children must be handled is the subject of profound understanding, and the art of being firm in a healthy manner requires special intelligence. You should not allow the child to have his way all the time. You must train and discipline the child, and your love for child should not come in a way of that training. If a child gets into something wrong with some wrong habits, you must discipline him firmly and strongly. Even threats and little slaps will do no harm to remind him that those actions are not okay. A story is given about a person who, as a boy, was not reprimanded by his mother when he started picking the pockets of others. Rather, the mother went on encouraging him, and gradually he became a great criminal. Ultimately, he was sentenced for a long term imprisonment, and at that time he asked to see his mother. When the mother came, he put his mouth near her ear and bit it. The mother said, "Why did you do so?" He answered, "Why didn't you stop me when I first began this pilfering habit, this stealing? Why did you not stop me?" So, all the love the mother has shown according to her own confused and understanding, underestimated that turning into bitterness in her son's mind. So while she was showing her affection, in the end she was causing damage to her son. Therefore, even though at the time of punishment it may seem to the child that you are not up to the mark of love, you must follow the ideal and the right process according to your capacity. The children will appreciate you. They'll appreciate your actions in course of time as they grow up. Parents who fear that their children will leave them as they grow if they are firmly treated have not developed deeper love for the children. If you are in a healthy relationship with your children, you will impress upon them the sincerity of your intentions to such an extent that even though you might have punished them and been very harsh at times, they will still love you immensely because they know ultimately you care about them and their good. So, with this, we conclude the satsang for today. I will see you in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.